We've travelled all over Australia in the IVECO. We've pushed it and the gear that's on it to the limit. Now with all the travelling that we do, lighting for nighttime is absolutely critical. And I reckon it's time we upgrade it. This time though, we're going for something different. We're looking for Australian made. So we've hit the road nice and early and we're heading northwest out of Melbourne. We've made our way to Swan Hill in Victoria, where a not so small local company is kicking some big goals. They're manufacturing high performance off-road lighting that's going to be perfect for our uses. Let's drop in, say good day and check them out. Morning.
Simon.
How are you going?
Welcome to Ultravision.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Good to see you. Whilst the team were happy to meet me, I reckon they were more excited to see the truck. And being engineers, they were delighted to check out the big rig and its many features.
Could have washed it.
You're 100% right. The truck has plenty of scars to show and no end of adventurous stories to tell. And with the Ultravision team being so passionate about lighting, there was plenty of ideas on what could possibly go where.
Simon, come inside.
Thank you.
Welcome to Ultravision HQ
Awesome.
here in sunny Swan Hill.
And how long has Ultravision been going?
This is our 20th year,
Same as four-wheel drive TV.
April 2004.
Wow. Fantastic to see. Have you got time to show me through the facility?
Absolutely. Sure, come through. This is through to the warehouse number 1.
Oh,
This is where we manufacture, assemble, R&D, and dispatch the product just from this place here. Eastern boundary, we've got another warehouse, which is where we keep all our bulk raw stock. This is where we manufacture the PCBs. Come in.
the PCB room is the first stage of manufacturing, and the precise procedures here are managed by Paul, who is able to give us a full rundown on the process.
We make all our PCBs in-house. All the raw boards start here. There's actually tracks and pads exposed there. It doesn't look like a light bar, but it's actually, there's 3 PCBs on the one assembly. So these go into the manufacturing side. They separate these boards and they can lay them in line to actually make whatever length light bar you're after. They go through this machine, which actually is our bareboard loader. From here it goes into our screen printer, and this is actually screen prints with lead paste. Oh, it's like powder, lead powder that's mixed with flux. You can see there's holes in there that transfer the paste to those pads you saw on the raw PCB. Out of the printer, the boards come through. This is a weight position, and then it goes into our pick and place machine, which orientates the component and then puts them down on the PCB.
And this is the brains, isn't it, Paul?
Pretty much, yeah.
This is what does the good stuff. And it's got 10 heads, so it picks up 10 components, and it processes them, puts them on the board, comes back, but it optimizes it each time it does it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that bright red flash, is that a sensor that's checking?
Yeah, so that's actually a camera, and that light illuminates the component. That's how it actually says, oh, this component needs adjustment.
In like 100th of a second.
These here are just our feeders. If you look, they're all actually loaded in the machine, all preloaded with every component that we use. That there's your LED.
That's your LED chip, high performance.
That's the one that gives us the distance, yeah. Picks up the component with a vacuum, and then as it places it down, it releases the component onto the PCB, and the paste actually is tacky, and it sticks to the paste.
But generally speaking, the average board time would be about 40 to 50 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much. Out of the pick and place machine, it comes through and actually goes into our reflow oven. At this point, the actual solder paste heats up and turns into solder. So the components actually then are bonded permanently to the PCB. There's a set time that it takes it to go through and set temperatures. So by the time it gets out the other end, it starts to cool down again.
That one's just coming into the last section now.
That's the beginning of a fully functioning PCB.
This is our completed board stacker. So as the boards come out of the oven, They come into a cassette that holds 50 PCBs.
And these are fully loaded boards with electronics ready to go. Generally speaking, a good month is about 4,500 PCBs.
Yeah.
High bays, floodlights, LED work lamps, LED drive-in lights, light bars.
We can then test the PCB and make sure that it works.
Every lamp's tested 3 times before it goes out. Paul has done these first tests on that PCB, make sure that everything operates. Most of the products we sell are 5,700K, which is a very natural cool white. There's no blue in it. The reason we go for a 5,700K is the higher you go in the Kelvin rating, which is the bluer, you tend to start losing definition of objects, tends to have more glare, or new road signs especially, but even older signs.
And more fatiguing on your eye.
Absolutely. LEDs are made by the million in a batch, and then every single LED is tested, and then it's put into what they call bins, and that bin covers the actual quality of the LED. So we always buy very tight bins, and that commands a higher price, so that you pay more for that. Now that you've seen a new PCB being made from scratch, this is where we store the PCBs, and then this is where the actual main manufacturing happens. We've got 2 lines. Generally speaking, we use this for one-piece flow, which is our quick production. The back line will generally make customs or special orders. They'll do a quick quality inspection on the product, make sure there's no scratches, dents, everything looks good. Comes across and they start the assembly process. This is the board being soldered onto the actual PCB itself. And they put a reflector into it. Comes across, that's the lens going in. That's the outer rim, complete with the screws already. And they just double check that every LED is working, all looks good. And that's an earth test to make sure that no components are touching against any of the internals. Yeah, they generally pressure test the lamp itself, make sure that it's holding pressure, no leaks.
What's the IP rating?
IP68.
IP68.
With this particular product. Some of our work lamps are IP69, so they can actually go beyond 3 meters underwater. And he's going to do the pressure test now. There we go. Now it's holding pressure.
And so how long would you say from the PCB board does it take to manufacture a light?
Depends what light it is, but the Raptor 120 series takes about 7.5 minutes to finish as far as in the production area.
Wow.
Average of 4.5, 5 minutes in the machine and about 7.5 minutes here. They pump out about 130 odd lamps a day. So once the product is finished, comes out to the production facility, comes through, and gets loaded onto the shelves, ready for dispatch. And this is generally between 2 and 3 weeks worth of sales that we have here ready to pack.
What is the warranty on nitro?
Warranty on nitro is 5 years currently.
And what about the mounting?
The mounting is a lifetime warranty.
Wow.
If a customer buys a set of our drive-in lights and in 10 years' time he breaks or bends a bracket, we'll replace it free of charge.
Terry, the product looks amazing. I'm super impressed. Really appreciate the tour. What are the chances of getting some of this gear onto my truck, please?
Pretty high. We don't normally do fitting for customers, but for our good customers we do.
All right, well, let's go and have a look and see what ideas you've got to kit me out. Thank you.
Excellent.
With the big rig ready for its full lighting overhaul, Terry from Ultravision was delighted to climb on board and steer the truck into their warehouse, all ready for the first stage, the removal of all of the current lighting. The team started with the bull bar, moved on to the roof-mounted units, and finished off with the side, rear and underbody lights. Terry, is this display always here like this?
Definitely not. This is a special display. This is some of the lighting that we propose to go into your rig.
Awesome.
We thought we'd go the best gear, 3 of the nitro lamps out the front. With that, you're going to see forever. And for the corners on the front of the bull bar? This lamp here, it's It's got a combination of spot and flood. These are a spot, so that throws the light down the road, and these are the wider optic or reflector, and that's got 3 LEDs in the oval shape, and that throws the light out wide. Single row light bar, which is our latest release in the Nitro range. It's the biggest we do, 220 odd watts, and we're going to get 2 on the roof of this.
A double stack.
A double stack.
I like your thinking. I see you've got a really diverse range of work lamps.
Started with work lamps back in 2010. We were the first to introduce LED work lamps into the mines over in WA. Atom 25 is probably our latest addition to the smaller work lamp range. We've had those for about 5-6 years.
And like most things you do, there are some options available to the customer, so these can be either pedestal mounted or flush mounted.
Yes, that's our recessed lamp there. You can see it's the same front face, but this outer bezel replaces that bezel, and that can be recessed wherever you like.
Fantastic. And the Atom 45?
Atom 45
again,
is...
a fairly rugged looking constructed light.
It is. They're great for four-wheel drivers. It's probably our most popular lamp of the four-wheel drive industry. We've got forward-facing lighting, rear-facing, 45 out the rear, 45 out the front, 90 degrees out the side. You'll basically have a curtain of light around the rig.
It has been an absolutely huge day. Such a big day, it's now dark, which is perfect for our drive home. But I reckon we turn off the lights in the shed here, we light this puppy up and take a closer look at what Ultravision have done to the big IVECO. Let's check it out. We'll start with the reverse and rear lights. And now let's light this place up. How's that, guys? Over 120,000 effective lumens, lighting the place up. There's a flood of light coming out from underneath. We've got the rear 45-degree flanks totally covered. We're going to have no dramas in the dark, unhitching, reversing, or setting up camp. And we've got in excess of 120,000 effective lumens out front. That's the Ultravision magic. Terry, thank you so much. Product looks amazing. From what we've seen so far, it is fantastic. I can't wait to hit the road, light up that highway and see what it looks like.
Excellent, Simon. Safe travels home, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. The new lights had no drama, lighting up the highway and surrounds for our run home. And the warmer colour and reduced glare were a welcomed improvement. The real test though will be getting all of this lighting off-road, and you'll see that and plenty more in our next video. Thank you, Ultravision. The result is nothing short of brilliant.